Have you ever looked at two people in their 70s and just wondered, why is one person so full of life while another seems constantly tired and bogged down by medication? It's something a lot of us think about, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig into how the answer might be way simpler than you think. It's not about luck. It's about what's on your plate. I mean, just picture it. You've got two different paths you can go down after 70. On one path, you're active, you're joyful, playing with your grandkids. On the other, it's a life filled with doctor's visits, feeling weak, and relying on pills just to get through the day. And for a long time, we've just chalked that up to, the lottery of aging. Just bad luck. But is it really just luck? Or is it a choice? Well, the insights we're exploring today suggests this decline is not inevitable at all. In fact, it's often the direct result of the habits we build up over a lifetime. So what's the real problem then? According to this ancient way of thinking, the real culprit isn't just the number of candles on your birthday cake. It's the weakening of our body's core engine, something called the digestive fire. Now, in Ayurveda, they call this the digestive fire, or Pachan Agni. Just think of it like a little furnace burning inside your belly. Its job is to take everything you eat, break it down, and turn it into pure energy, into life itself. When we're young, oh man, that fire is a roaring bonfire. It's strong, we can throw pretty much anything at it, pizza, fried snacks, you name it, and it just torches right through it, turning it all into energy, no problem. But as the years go by, especially if our eating habits aren't great, that roaring fire starts to die down. It becomes just fading embers. And if we keep trying to throw the same heavy logs on it, we're not fueling it anymore, we're smothering it. And when that happens, food stops being nourishment. Instead, it can actually create toxins in the body. But here is the really empowering part. We can reignite that fire. The secret isn't waiting for you at the pharmacy. As this quote says so perfectly, your real strength is not in a pill, it is hidden in your plate. So that brings us to habit number 1. We've got to simplify. We need to move away from all the fancy, complex, heavy foods and just get back to basics. Things like khichdi or a simple light dal, we tend to write them off as sick people's food. But the whole idea here is that's exactly why they're so powerful. They're incredibly easy to digest, they don't tax your system, they give that weakened digestive fire a much-needed break, a chance to recover and slowly build back its strength. And this is not just some theory. Check this out. There is this story of a 75-year-old woman who is just full of life, full of energy. And her big secret? She starts her day with a simple, warm drink of water with some spices and then has a small bowl of khichdi for breakfast. That's it. And it keeps her going all day long. It's a perfect example of how less can be so much more. Okay, let's talk about habit number 2, because this one tackles a huge fear for so many of us as we get older. Fragile bones. We all worry about falls and fractures, right? Well, this habit is all about building a stronger frame. And the best part? You don't need a bunch of expensive supplements. It's all about these 3 humble, affordable superfoods. Get this, sesame seeds have more calcium than milk. Isn't that wild? Then you've got sattu, which is this amazing roasted gram flour that's just packed with energy. And of course, good old peanuts for protein and healthy fats. Just adding these into your diet can make a huge difference. Habit number 3 is super easy to remember because it's all visual. The idea is to stop and look at your plate. Does it look like a vibrant work of art, or is it kind of beige? So the goal is really simple. You want to minimize those nutritionally empty white foods, things like white sugar, white rice, too much salt, and instead you want to fill your plate with a whole rainbow of natural colors. Reds, greens, yellows, oranges. Why? Because every single one of those colors represents a different team of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that your body is just crying out for. All right, moving on to our 4th habit. This one isn't about what you eat, but when you eat. It's about syncing up your body's internal clock with the biggest clock there is, the sun. I mean, the logic here is so simple, it's brilliant. Our digestive fire is strongest when the sun is highest in the sky, around noon. As the sun starts to set, our digestive fire naturally starts to wind down too. So the idea is to eat your biggest meal in the middle of the day and finish your last meal of the day before the sun goes down. This gives your body plenty of time to digest everything properly before you go to sleep. And that brings us to our 5th and final habit. And this one might be the most important of all. It's all about your mindset, your relationship with the food on your plate. Now, this is a really powerful idea. Your thoughts about your food actually matter. If you sit down and look at your plate with guilt or anxiety, thinking, oh, this is bad for me, you're creating a kind of negative energy that affects your digestion. So instead, try to approach every meal with a sense of gratitude. Being thankful for the nourishment can literally change how your body processes that food. The other half of this is about moderation. It's so simple. Eat until you're about 80% full. Stop before you feel stuffed. Why? This leaves physical space in your stomach for that digestive fire to work its magic. It prevents that heavy, sluggish feeling and lets your body do its job efficiently. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. Wow, that's a lot to change all at once. And you're right, but you don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. The key is to start small. Here's a really simple way to get going. Just look at these 4 simple swaps. Don't try to do them all, just pick one. Maybe this week you just focus on eating dinner a little earlier, or maybe you swap out your usual breakfast for one of these powerhouse options. It's those small, consistent changes that add up to create huge, lasting results. So, when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's really a huge shift in perspective. It's realizing that the most powerful pharmacy in the world isn't out there somewhere, it's in your own kitchen. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Eat food so it acts as medicine, so you don't have to eat medicine as food. It's about being proactive. It's about using food to build a strong, resilient body so that you don't need to rely on treatments later on. And that leaves us with one final, very personal question. It's a choice that we all make every single day, with every single meal. So, what's it going to be? Is your plate going to be filled with life-giving food, or is it going to be filled with pills? The power to decide is all yours.